Welcome back to Dream Aesthetic Podcast Behind the Scenes, Series 2, Episode 3. We have with us today Brother Nash.
What's up, hey?
Nash, thank you for being in Dream Aesthetic Podcast today. Welcome. And I'm your co-host, Ahmad. And Anand is the host.
Okay. Welcome, Nash.
Thank you for having me, actually.
Okay, Nash, introduce yourself and your occupation and your lifestyle.
All right, so I'm Nash Roshan. I'm a trainer. I train people, I coach. I've been doing that for a while now. I started coaching people.
How many years?
Okay, to be honest, I actually started off in an art college. I didn't know that I wanted to be a trainer or anything like that. So I was starting to become a graphic designer.
You started off as a graphic designer
a graphic designer,
So you were not into the bodybuilding?
I mean, I was into bodybuilding. I was really doing bodybuilding back then.
But you were not teaching or training people?
Yeah, I was not teaching or training people, but it was just like something that, I have to do it, that kind of thing. So like before going for classes or anything like that, I'll wake up fucking early in the morning, go to the gym first, fall asleep in the gym, then go to the classes and all that kind of stuff. So it was really part of my life, I would say, bodybuilding. But I didn't know it was going to be dictating so much after that. So like when I used to go to classes and all that, my buddies really are coming up to me like, hey bro, how to get like this, how to get like that. I was like, hey, you know what, during break time, just follow me, we go train and all that. And then from there, they used to pay me like, hey, I just pay you your lunch or something like that. And I was like, shit, I can make money out of this shit, man. Like, it's not bad. So I stopped graphic design and all that. And I studied more on like how to coach people, nutrition, all this kind of stuff and all that. And then I went into it, but I still wanted to do art. Like I fucking love art, but it's just that when you are studying something that, you know, maybe I think it's your hobby or your passion or something like that, when it's like forced onto you to like, because when I was in this college, you had to like do, so we had different classes, right?
Yes.
So one of classes is like you have to draw people's faces and all that. So you have to do like 20 sketches of it. So you're up all night just for one class, trying to draw 20 sketches of people's faces, and like getting the shade and everything in on it. And then you got perspective class where you have to draw like the
landscape,
architecture of like, okay, yes, the room or anything like that. So you have to draw 20 of that, 20 of this, 20 of that. So like your creative juice is just being squeezed and squeezed and squeezed to the point where I hated art. I didn't want to hate art. I fucking love art, right? So I found a way to like bring art into coaching, into training. So I found like when someone comes to me and say, hey, I want to get into shape and all that, they're literally like an empty canvas to me. And I'm like, okay, so this is the equipment. This is the food that you need. So the equipment being the brush, the food being the colors and all that kind of stuff. So I found art in this and I feel like, yeah, I can do this in a long time. You know, whereas art is just for me personally, like I want to design something, I want to draw something that's just for me to vent or to let out or something like that. But I can't make money out of it. Yeah. So
okay, that's actually very deep story.
Yeah. So
am I right to say it's actually like this? I think like you actually you sound very passionate about art. You are a very creative person.
I love art, man.
Right? So you want to have your creative, creativity, and you want to put it out there in the world, right? But I think like what happened to you, I think with all the art classes, art started to become more objective.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So you could not, and you felt that your creativity got
stuck somewhere.
Yeah.
So I even asked my seniors and all that, like, how's it going and all that. And I was like, bro, no life, bro. Like this, like that. Like, you know, you create something, then you go show it to them.
And
like,
art is not supposed to be like that, right? Art is supposed to be about expressing yourself and being out there, right? And
art is art, basically.
Yes, like you say, like it is an empty canvas, and you just try to express yourself.
But it has become so
objective. Yes.
Objective, yeah. So it's not your artwork anymore. It's just like when a client tells you, this is what I want it over there, blah, 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 blah. So art has a lot of emotions when you put into it. And when there's no emotions into that, it's not art already. It's just lines and...
Yes. And however, I think you are still very passionate about art and you want to keep that alive.
I want to keep that alive.
Right. And you want to burn the, put the flame down, right? That's why I think, that's a very good transition. And then you go into coaching.
I mean, also because... I came from a background, as in my parents, my mom and dad. My mom was like an athlete for the country. She was a runner in Malaysia. So she was an athlete. She used to do hurdles, represented the country. Yeah, track and field, sprints, all that kind of stuff. So she represented the country and all that. So my dad was like a kind of like an all-rounder. He used to play hockey for a while. Then how bodybuilding started was like, it was actually, he was the one that kind of like did the domino effect, I would say, to me. So when I grew up, we shifted a lot when we were in Malaysia. So the first house that we had, it's like a storeroom or something. It was quite a big room back there. So he made it into like a gym / study room, you know. So he bought all his old equipment from Wader magazines and all that. So he brought there was like a bench press, and the bench press had like a leg extension and a few rusty dumbbells and all that. So this was like when I was like 5 or 6 years old. So every evening, my dad would go inside there and he'll start like, you know, it's not like he knew what to work out or anything like that. It's just like the basic stuff that he knew. And he was just working out, you know, and he had like these huge stacks of old muscle and fitness magazines from the 70s, the 60s. So he had all the old classic bodybuilders inside there. So when I was a kid, I was just like flipping through them and I was like, oh, this is what a man's supposed to look like and stuff like that. And that's why my dad is training and all that. Okay, fuck yeah, this is what I'm going to do. So I used to do push-ups, chin-ups, you know, watching him doing that and all.
Yes.
Then I think Malaysia had like their first physical test in school.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in Malaysia, nobody gives a shit about health. Like seriously,
yes.
like literally up front to you, there's like, you come to school, study, shut the fuck up, go back home, that kind of thing.
Yes.
So I don't know how all of a sudden we had to do like physical tests.
Okay.
So that was the first time. I think I was around like 13 or 14 years old. All right.
Okay, when you were 13, 14, okay.
Yeah, so they implemented that. So they called us all out from the class. And we were like, what the fuck's going on and all that. So it was like, okay, you got to do push-ups, chin-ups, and pull-ups, sorry, not chin-ups, pull-ups and then a sprint around the whole field and all that. I don't know how many kilometers was it. So I was doing the push-ups and all that. I was like, shit, I like this feeling, man. There's like a good burn and all that. And I was like, and I was a scrawny kid. I was really, really, really very scrawny. So I was like doing the push-ups and I was like, I like this burn. I like the pump and all this kind of feeling into it. And I didn't know I could survive. Like I did about, I don't know, close to 60 push-ups in a minute.
60 push-ups when you were like 14 years old.
Yeah, because I was fucking scrawny. So I couldn't really have there's not much resistance to push-up when you're that skinny also. So then I went back home after that. And I went through my old dad's magazines. And I was like, okay, I was slowly getting interested. So, and plus when you're like 13, 14, you're going through puberty, you want to impress the girls, you're skinny and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yes.
So I was reading through it, and if you can still find magazines from the old days, they are chock full of information. Not like nowadays magazines is like, oh, you take this supplement, you're going to get like this. You use this equipment, you're going to get that. Back then, they didn't have much. So all they could give out was fucking information. Train like this, eat at this time, this is what you're going to get. So I was just like noting it down and trying to practice it on myself and all that. But I didn't have a gym to go to. So my dad had like this thing called a bull worker. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's like a huge...
Bull worker.
Yeah, it's called a bull worker, bro. So you kind of like, there's a fucking huge spring inside. And when you compress it this way, right? It's like the old school shit, right?
The old school stuff, yes.
Yeah. So there's another wire on top of it so you can pull. And, you know, you don't do repetitions, you do...
resistance.
So you just hold for 7 seconds or 10 seconds and all that. So he told me like, okay, this is what you can do, you know, a full body workout, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, yeah, this is what I can do. So every time I used to come back, I'll go through the magazines and all that. Because it was chock full of information. And I'll try to do at home. Whatever I can do at home, I'll try to do at home.
I imagine like your magazines is like what? In the 70s, right? So this must be like Vince Gironda time or like Bill
70s,
Pearl.
80s. You got the Arnold, you got the Frank Zanes and all that kind of stuff over there.
Okay.
So I used to read up on that. And then my mom, I don't know what's up. I think because there was a lot of bikini models inside there and all that, right? So she thought I'm probably ranking off to the pictures and all that kind of shit. So she came back the next day and threw off the whole, half of the stacks was gone. So I came back and I was like, Ma, what the hell? She was like, no, there's all like this bikini models in front of the pictures and all that kind of stuff. I was like, no, like I was learning a lot from it. And my dad also was like, do you know how hard is it to like get that magazines now? Like you can't get those kind of magazines now. So I wrote down everything, whatever I could, you know, think, imagine and all that kind of stuff, wrote it down. Then every time I used to save my lunch money from school, I won't eat in school. I'll save it. And then at the end of the week, I'll have like 8 ringgit or something like that. So I'll go to this gym nearby my house. I'll take the bus. I'll go all the way there. I'll pay 8 ringgit and you can train in the gym for how long you want. So my dad came first. He started to coach me a little bit to up to where he knew what to do. Because he's not a coach also. So from there, I started to learn here, learn there. And then I think by the time already, I was like 17 or 18 years old already. And from there, I was like, okay, what's next? And the only thing to go to was like, okay, after it was college, right? I didn't know what I want, but I was so into bodybuilding and there's no career in like bodybuilding or something like that. I didn't know anything about how am I going to make money from it. So the only thing was to like, okay, go do art. Go a designer college and yeah. One thing led to the other and then pop became a trainer after that. Yeah.
But what I hear from your story, I think like what I can actually like relate is, I think there are a few blessings.
Yeah.
Your athletic foundation is actually indoctrinated very early.
Yeah.
Right? Your mom was an athlete.
Yep.
Your dad was into like, like getting, like the weight training and stuff. Maybe it's not called bodybuilding, but he was collecting all these magazines and stuff, right? So that was actually what built your foundation.
Yes, the
right?
foundation.
So yes,
over there,
so you have a very good athletic foundation there. Right?
I mean, the do's and don'ts also, like a lot of things that I saw my dad doing, and I was like, nah, that's not what I want actually. Like, I'm going to go the opposite direction. Oh, this is what he's doing. Okay, maybe I can make it a little bit better and all that. So, yeah, I would say, like what you said, man, it's quite right. Like, somehow the foundation was laid over there.
Yeah, which is good. And I think like it's also the humble beginnings, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think you started there, right? And then you actually figured out, okay, this is what. Same, I think like very similar to a lot of people, like the dream or the passion was actually there.
Yeah.
For many years.
Exactly.
Right? Some people took 20 years, some people took more than that. Some people was dreaming it since 5 years old.
Yeah.
So I think for you, the foundation was laid,
already
at a very young age,
knowing,
unconsciously, subconsciously kind of thing, right? Yes.
Yeah.
So it become part of you.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what made, that's what built your character also.
Exactly, yeah, I would say.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true, man.
So Nash, how old are you now?
I'm 35 now.
35.
April, I'll be 36. Yeah.
Okay. So when this whole journey started, which age you started to train properly?
For bodybuilding specifically.
Okay. 14 then when I was around like 15, 16 years old, that's when I was doing like more like bodybuilding training. But without the proper nutrition and anything like that, it was more like just, okay, this is the form that I need to be in, this is the weights that I need to use and blah, 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 blah. Then
15 to 16 years old.
Yeah, 15 to 16 years old. That's when I was slowly getting serious about it. But never even thought about bodybuilding. It was just like, how big can I get? And
so you just want to be the huge guy in the gym.
Yeah, I just want to be the huge guy. That's it. It was fun lifting weights and you meet
the adrenaline.
You meet like-minded people and then you're like, shit, okay, we can do this. Train as a group, that kind of stuff and all that. Then I think it wasn't about trying to impress anybody. It wasn't about trying to get the girls or anything like that. It became more of like, oh, what can I do more? Like, if I be just a little bit more disciplined, what else can I achieve? So that,
it's more of a self-development, right?
So
it's actually just for yourself.
Yeah, it became self-development after that. Like, if I have just a little bit more control of myself, what else can I achieve? So that part of like trying to control yourself. Yeah, I got kind of
self-control. Yes, like I call it self-development.
Yeah.
People who don't have these traits, they call it selfish.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they call it selfish.
But you see, like having self-control, having self-development, also actually what molds you and what builds you to become a better person, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Self-vision, maybe.
Yes.
People, exactly. That's true, man. People will think it's like you're being selfish, especially bodybuilding is like the most selfish sport. People will say it's the most selfish sport.
Actually, it's not only the sport. I mean, every sport is selfish. Like being a basketball player, you have to be selfish as well.
But the thing is, basketball, right? You go for your training and then you get to clock it off.
Yeah.
You go back, you do with your family, your friends, you get to go out and stuff like that. But as bodybuilding, there's no clocking out.
24/7.
Yeah, it's a life, 24/7. Yes,
so
life.
Like wherever
it's
you
life.
go,
yes.
We have to bring our meals.
Yeah, dude, seriously, like I remember in KL and all that, so we used to go like, I mean, of course I still want to experience going out at night, partying, that kind of stuff and all, right? But bodybuilding was so like grabbing me by the hair, like, okay, make sure you still eat your meals when you go clubbing or partying or anything like that. So I'll pack my meals and all that, park the car somewhere else. My buddies all will go drinking and all that. And then my phone or my watch, will start to beep. So I was like, oh shit, hey bro, I have to go back to the car.
So we still hold on to that form of discipline.
I wouldn't say it was a form of discipline. It became to the point where if I don't do it, there's an itch. There's a very itch that I just need to scratch and scratch and scratch.
It became part of you.
Yeah.
Right. Like if you don't do it, like something is off, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Same feeling, like if you don't train for a while and then suddenly you feel, hey, this is not me.
Yeah.
Right?
Psychologically it affects you. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So after you train from 15 to 16 or so, And when do you decide, okay, it's about time for me to shine in stage? Which age is that? And why you decide to compete?
At first was when I was around 21 or 22. So that was like the first time. So I already got a membership in the gym. I think it was back then in Malaysia was California or something.
Oh,
California
beautiful
Fitness.
gym.
Yeah.
One
And
of the
then-
best gym.
Yeah, the equipment was really good and all that
Yeah,
back then.
we can't find a second California.
The old equipment, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
So they had really good equipment over there.
That's the only gym will have sauna and steam room at one place.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
from there, so I was training and all that. I had a buddy of mine also who was training, then he was thinking of competing. And I was like, yeah, I mean,
This is the age of 21.
yeah, around 21, 22 like that.
Okay.
So he was like, I'm thinking of competing and all that. I was like, and he was around my age. He's my age also. So I was like, shit, okay. So this might be a next step to it. Like you're pushing yourself all the way here. Might as well get something out of it, right? So he went for his comp. I watched and all that. I was like, shit, this guy did quite well also.
Which isn't happening in Malaysia.
Yeah, in Malaysia, yeah.
And I believe the scene, competition scene in Malaysia is actually very, very strong and pretty good also.
It's good. Yeah, it's good. But the organization is shit, bro. Seriously. I mean, I know I'm going to get shit for this.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
hopefully
But,
Well,
I mean, not now, probably they're better. They're
yeah,
much better.
well, I think like for us, we're not trying to highlight all the like you said the shits or the bad stuff, right? But I think that's part of what Dream Aesthetic is also trying to do.
Yeah.
You know, like make the difference, try to improve the industry.
Exactly.
You know, like be different. And when we want to be different, right, there's always resistance.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
So we don't want to stay the same where we stay bad.
Yeah.
Right? We want to try and make it better.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So that's the whole vision of Dream Aesthetic, basically. You know,
I mean,
like,
I can
that's
see
why
it
it has-
happening. Like, whatever you're doing, bro, like, seriously, hats off to you, man. Yeah, seriously.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah. That's the reason why this podcast, this platform, you know, like trying to do something, you know, we're not taking money out of you.
Exactly. You're
Right.
giving us a platform to do it. Whereas back
Yes.
then, it's just like, nobody knows you. Suddenly you go up on stage, who's this guy? All right, you got a few minutes and then you're down, that's it. But
Yeah, even why I came up with, like, you know, now coming back just to Dream is just highlight a few things. Why I came up with this People Champion belt. Because back then I went for a few shows and when I see one athlete coming out in a showcase himself, no one will shout his name. Everyone will be just quiet. Only his friends, only 1%, and then nobody will cheer for him. Then I'll just in my mind, it's like, he trained 6 to 7 months or 1 year, or maybe whole his life, you know, like, you know, from 20 years, he have this vision to compete. And he can suddenly stand on stage, nobody going to support him over there. And what kind of recognition is this? After the competition, nobody knows you.
That's it, yes.
Yeah.
yes.
So that's why whatever I never get as an athlete last time. So Dream Aesthetic athletes must be like a first class athletes.
Yeah.
We are premium.
yeah.
So that's our vision is, and I'm doing my best.
Hey, man, whatever you're doing is a stepping stone, man.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
getting
you.
there.
Yeah.
It may not be perfect, but we're trying to do something.
As long as you're trying to do something, you're getting there.
Coming, even the trophies medal, we can always give the same plastic trophies.
Yeah.
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 The same trophies, what we get, you know, medals, the cheap ones. But you guys don't deserve the cheap ones. Each individual athlete's prep for even minimum is 5,000. That's the minimum we're talking about. Some people, they don't even, you know, have that much money. They sell their guitar.
Yeah. They're looking
so
they
to,
got
just to
need
compete, and I'm just
sponsorships
going to
stuff,
give
yeah.
you a medal like this.
Yeah, a plastic medal sometimes.
I feel I'm embarrassing you. I'm just like don't even giving you a proper identity of your hard work.
That's true.
That's why we're getting good trophies.
Yeah.
How do you feel when you get a trophy actually?
Of course, that's nice. I mean, it's like, how you say, like, there's something physical for you to look at and say,
That's
like,
you actually. That classic physique is you.
this is what I got
Yeah.
for going through all the sacrifices that I've done and all that. So whenever you look back, and
When you look back after 20, 30 years, when I'm 50
Yeah.
years old, that's me.
yeah, or
That-
even in hard times, like when you look, like some of the trophies when I look back that I have, or sorry, whatever, I just look back and I was like, oh shit, I did that, man. Like, so whatever I'm going through right now, I can actually overcome it also, because why? That's like the hardest thing to do, actually. People don't recognize like prepping and everything. It's not just stepping up on stage and that's it. Like,
Yeah.
the journey is like, fuck, you have to like constantly wake up every single day.
Yes.
Even though how hard it is, you just have to be like, I'm still gonna fucking do it.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
So which age you step in the stage?
Around 21, 22.
Which
22,
is
I think.
22
Yeah.
is in Malaysia?
After
The
seeing
Yeah.
your friend competing.
Yeah, Mr. Slango. I went for
Okay.
like my first comp.
bodybuilding?
Yeah,
The first bodybuilding competition.
Yeah, it was bodybuilding, bro.
Okay, that's cool.
So it
Back
was,
then, I think there was no choice for men's physique.
yeah, there was no
stuff, right?
classic
Yes.
or anything like that. There was no
So
men's physique.
either
and all
you
that stuff.
bodybuilding, you make it, or you don't.
Yeah. So I got third place for that.
The first time you got third
Yeah.
place.
Third place.
Yeah, so I was
first
like,
time,
shit,
yes,
like
okay.
this is
Just
not
put
that.
that
You
shit
are
there.
somewhere, yes.
Yeah, so I was like, shit, maybe there is something to it. And everyone thought it's just like a one-time thing. My dad also thought like, okay, close shop, this is just a one-time thing and all that. But
Okay, but your parents, were they supportive of your bodybuilding pursuit?
yeah, they were supportive. They have always been supportive of whatever I'm doing and all that. It's just that they didn't know it was gonna be this deep.
Okay.
You know, when I first did it, like when I first had the Mr. Slango and all that.
But could they resonate to it? Like, because if you now that you mentioned, like actually subconsciously or unconsciously, the foundations were laid
Yeah.
early, right?
Yeah.
Early, yes.
My mom can relate to it because
She was also
onto the
competitive
scene.
back
yeah,
then.
Yeah,
Yes, okay.
So she can like, oh, you're the only one who actually, does this and does that and all that.
Yes, yes.
But they didn't take it so serious to that extent, like once when they started to have kids, me and all that.
Yes.
My mom still used to represent Malaysia back then also, when she had me and then I think my other siblings and all that. But it was not to the extent of how I'm doing. Like I'm willing to sacrifice things and all that. Like, like even to the point where family members or anything like that, it has gotten so deep into me where when I'm on prep, I'm on prep.
You're on prep. That gets us to this next question. I think let's be specific.
Yeah.
What sacrifices you make or do you have to make to stay committed to competing or bodybuilding?
Okay. The fact that I came all the way here to Singapore. I mean, back in Malaysia, I was working in Malaysia. Everything was I would say comfortable. All right.
Okay.
But for some reason, I don't know, I've heard more about Singapore where there were more proper shows over here where you're more exposed and all that kind of stuff. And back in Malaysia, I was just like getting fed up. Like once when I already got Mr. Kel from my category, like that was the aim thing that I wanted to go. I wanted to get Mr. Kel and all that. And once when I got it, I was like, okay, what's next? Like you're just gonna stay in Malaysia and within these people and all that kind of stuff. And also in terms of fitness, like how far can you go in Malaysia? So it's not that fitness is preached a lot, staying healthy and all that in Malaysia back then. It was not really preached a lot also. So then at first I was a little bit hesitant to like think about what's next. The first foreign show that I ever did was in Thailand.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, let's just see how I am on a bigger scale. And
this is out of on your own accord, yeah, like yourself.
I was like,
no, like federation.
Oh no, yeah.
You,
okay.
right?
So funny
right?
story, yeah. So the Malaysian Federation or something like that, I think they had their own team, all right, to do this. And I've been competing bodybuilding all this while. And then I think there was a time where Mr. Kia had like men's physique for the first time. And men's physique was not that big. So I was quite big also back then. And me and my buddy was like, hey dude, let's just go in as a joke. Let's just go in there. And it's like, because we didn't know how to flex in terms of men's physique and all that. I was prepping for bodybuilding show, Mr. Kia bodybuilding show.
Yes.
And then he was like, dude, why don't we just go for men's physique also?
But this was the period where they called it men's physique already, or they were still calling it Badan Cantik.
Badan Cantik, yes. Badan Cantik,
yes.
yes. So we had Badan Cantik back then. So still with the board shorts and all that. So I was like, okay, bro, let's just go, see what we can do, right? So I did my thing, like we were just like winging it, looking at what people doing, and like, okay, do the hand thingy, do this, do that. See, I got like 4th place or what?
4th place in
Yeah.
Badan Cantik. Okay.
Yeah, dude. Amongst, I don't know how much it was, man. I think it was like 15 people or 16 people around there. So I got 4th place who has no clue about men's physique or anything like that. I came down, I was like, shit, bro, I got 4th place. We got like 100 ringgit from it. I didn't prep for it. I didn't do anything for it. I got 100 ringgit. I was like, shit, that's not bad. My category is later on, which is light heavy, I think. Light heavy or heavy?
Bodybuilding, yes.
Yeah, bodybuilding. So wait. Then did the show, got 1st place for bodybuilding and all that.
Oh, cool.
Then I remember Thailand was having a show. It's called Fitway.
Yes, Fitway
Sure, you've
Classic.
heard of it, right?
Yes,
Fitway,
Fitway
yeah.
Classic.
So I was like, and they didn't have, I don't know whether they had Classic back then in Fitway.
Oh, they called it Fitway back then.
Yeah, they called it
okay.
Fitway and all that. So I don't know whether they did have Classic category or something like that. So one of my buddy was like, hey dude, I'm going to prep for the show and all that. You want to go or not? I was like, what show is it? It's like, it's a physics show. It's Fitway and all that. I was like, physics? I'm not sure, man. It's like, bro, you did KL physics, right? You got 4th place and all that. Just simply try, you never know, right? I was like, okay, yeah, fine. Screw it. I just want to go up somewhere else. I don't want to compete here anymore. So I did it. I went there and it was a huge crowd. The crowd was like 200 plus crowd.
Eye-opening for you?
Yeah, it was eye-opening. And I was like, oh, this is what it looks like and stuff like that and blah, 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 blah. And next thing I managed to get like, from that 200, I managed to get like top 10. And I was happy.
Out of 200.
Yeah, I was
you
like
were
happy.
top 10
Really,
out
like,
of
shit,
200.
not bad.
Yes.
And the Malaysian team was there also. And the
Okay.
Malaysian team had their own sponsors and everybody. So
you did not have this privilege,
nothing.
right?
I came
Yes.
by myself. I slept in a fucking hole, man. Like, you know, the hole where you sleep inside, that kind of thing. So they invited me one day to their, apparently they had like a whole hotel, the chef cooking for them and all that. Hey, come on, bro. Let's come
Join
meet
the
up with
Malaysian
us,
team, yes.
So I came out, just chill for them for dinner, and I was like, shit, they have all of this. Like, damn, like, what the fuck am I doing, man? So they get to order the food, and then one of them was complaining about his pillow is not comfortable, and I was like,
Wow.
bro, I'm sleeping in a hole, man. But never mind, I'm like thrilled to be here. I'm excited to be here. I did it on my own, you know? I didn't have anybody's money or anything like that. I did it on my fucking own.
Yes.
So it was the pride that I had. So after that, I think the Malaysian team didn't make it all the way to the top 5 or so. Even some of the top 10, most of the Malaysian team was kicked out already.
Okay.
Only 1 or 2 made it all the way to top 5.
And how many people do they have in the Malaysian team?
Oh man, I think it was more than like 10.
10 people?
Yeah,
Or
they
there
brought-
only 1 or 2 made it in the
Yeah,
top 10?
1 or 2
Okay.
made it and all that. So I felt like shit. These people in Malaysia, back in Malaysia, they are like something. But outside of Malaysia, not much. So I thought like, okay, then maybe, I need to step myself up again, like put myself on a bigger scale and
Yep.
that kind of stuff. So when the opportunity came to like let go of everything that I had in Malaysia, my comfort and everything, come to Singapore. So,
Get out of the comfort zone.
yeah. So
Yes.
the main thing to come to Singapore was actually to compete. I
Oh,
really
okay.
wanted to just come here just to compete, get money and just compete. It was nothing got to do about getting a job and like, earn better and all that. It was literally just to compete. Yeah.
That was your mindset.
That was the mindset that brought me all the way here. But when I got over here is because I had to pay for rent and, pay
Yes.
for all these other stuff and all
So
that.
you started calculating about all the
Yeah, so I had
expenses
to-
as well.
Whatever I had, whatever I brought from Malaysia was gone, paying rent, this and that, and blah, blah, blah. So I remember the first few months was hell. But I was like, I'm still going to be okay. I lost all my muscle mass. I lost everything. Like, I had to eat like cup noodles for like a month and a half.
So these are the sacrifices that you had to go
Yeah,
through.
so I'm willing to make those kind of sacrifices. Like, leave my comfort zone, my family, my friends, my close friends that I always used to see every day, go out to
So
them.
you didn't have all this, yeah?
Nothing. I was just alone by myself. And I was like, yeah, if this is what I had to do to get to where I want to do it, I'll enjoy it.
This is a Rambo life, man.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, it's a Rambo thing. But I think
Yeah.
it's very interesting, and I think it's very thought provoking. Talking to you and hearing your story, because I read a lot, like somewhere that they say the best way for someone to grow, right,
Yep.
is to change your geography,
Yep.
right? So I think you did that. You went out of your comfort zone,
Yep.
right? You left everything behind,
Yep.
and you went to Singapore. If you can relate it, that's what Arnold did.
Yeah, that's
Right,
what
he left Austria.
Yeah.
He went to USA, right? Because he figured out, okay, this is where like he can make out of it.
Yeah.
Doing bodybuilding,
Yep.
right? Yes, and he left everything, and he didn't have a plan,
Yeah.
right? No plan, nothing whatsoever, right?
True.
Go there and make it.
Yep.
Change
That's
the geography, you grow.
That's
of
true.
course, it's difficult,
It
right?
was, bro. It was
Right.
fucking
Yes.
difficult.
Nobody says it's going to be easy, but I think like this little thing, that's what actually molds you
Yes.
into what you are today.
That's true, bro. That's true.
What one sacrifices, I mean, of course, in your journey that you have sacrifices multiple times, one thing that is in your mind is always like something deep happens to you. What will you say? What sacrifices that you made to compete in one show?
Okay, that's his question. My question, I want to write on to his question is, how do you keep your mindsets strong?
Okay, so your question was, what is the sacrifice?
One thing that you always impactful or always in your mind. And then like, how do you keep it strong? How do you keep your mindset
So,
strong?
one thing, let's say for a show, what sacrifice do you make for that show? And then how to proceed for the show, how you keep your mind strong? His question.
Okay, so the sacrifice for a show is
The deep one, like it's something that, something very personal.
maybe, I would say for a show, because I enjoy competing, right? So maybe there are sacrifices that I'm making that I'm unaware of also, like maybe spending time with my girl or something like that. I'm unaware that I'm not doing it anymore because I'm just so tunnel vision.
Focus, yes, tunnel
Yeah,
vision,
so
yes.
I know I am sacrificing a few things. Maybe money-wise, like of course you're not going to make money when you're prepping for shows. You're going to be very tired, so you can't train your clients, especially for this last prep that I did last year. It was
I saw your stories. So you're saying that you're giving up 100% for this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe tell us more about that.
so
So
this
what
was
is that 100%?